Moldova, a country tucked away in Eastern Europe, might not be on everyone's travel radar, but today we're about to unveil 12 surprising aspects that will undoubtedly leave you pondering. From hidden gems to unique traditions, Moldova holds a tapestry of cultural intricacies that often go unnoticed. In this video, we'll delve into the lesser-known features of this fascinating nation, offering you a fresh perspective on what makes Moldova a truly distinctive destination. Moldova, officially known as the Republic of Moldova, is a landlocked country situated in Eastern Europe, nestled on the northeastern corner of the Balkans. It covers a total area of 33,483 square kilometers, making it a compact yet culturally rich destination. As of January 2023, Moldova is home to around 2.5 million people. Moldova shares its borders with Romania to the west and Ukraine to the north, east, and south. Now, here's an interesting twist. The unrecognized breakaway state of Transnistria lies on the country's eastern border, separated by the Dniester River. Much of Moldova's territory was once part of the Principality of Moldavia until 1812, when it became known as Bessarabia under Russian rule. It later united with Wallachia to form Romania, but saw a series of territorial shifts during the 20th century due to geopolitical events and conflicts. Fast forward to 1991, during the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The Moldavian SSR declared independence and officially became Moldova. However, a strip of Moldovan territory on the east bank of the Dniester has been under the de facto control of the breakaway government of Transnistria since 1990, adding a layer of complexity to the region. In terms of governance, Moldova is a unitary parliamentary representative democratic republic, with Chisinau serving as its capital, the largest city, and the main cultural and commercial center. Under the presidency of Maia Sandu, elected in 2020, Moldova has been actively pursuing European Union membership. In June 2022, it was granted candidate status, and accession talks began in December 2023. President Sandu has also advocated for a closer alliance with NATO and condemned Russia's invasion of neighboring Ukraine. Moldova is the second poorest country in Europe by GDP per capita, following Ukraine. The service sector dominates its GDP, and it holds one of the lowest Human Development Index rankings in Europe, standing at 76th in the world as of 2022. However, there's room for growth, as Moldova sits at 60th place on the Global Innovation Index as of 2023. The country is a member of several organizations, including the United Nations, the Council of Europe, the World Trade Organization, and the GUAM Organization for Democracy and Economic Development, among others. Number 1. Moldova is the least visited country in Europe. Moldova may not be the first European destination that comes to mind when planning a trip, and that's because it holds the title of being the least visited country on the continent. But why is that? Let's explore. Moldova, nestled between Romania and Ukraine, boasts a rich history and a unique blend of cultures. Its charming countryside is dotted with vineyards, monasteries, and historical landmarks. However, the nation's lack of widespread recognition and infrastructure has kept it off the radar for many travelers. In recent years, efforts have been made to promote tourism in Moldova, but the numbers still lag behind. The country's picturesque landscapes, such as the scenic Codru Forest and the world-famous Milesti Mici winery, home to the largest wine cellar on Earth, remain hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Economic factors also play a role in Moldova's status as the least visited. The nation has faced challenges in terms of development, and this reflects in its tourism industry. However, it's worth noting that Moldova is gradually making strides to improve its infrastructure and attract more visitors. Number 2. The country had no president for 3 years. So, what exactly happened during those 3 years? Well, between 2009 and 2012, Moldova faced a significant political deadlock. Various political parties were at odds with each other, unable to reach a consensus. The crux of the issue was the inability to form an agreement with communist defectors, creating a prolonged state of uncertainty. After a staggering 917 days of political impasse, Moldova finally found a resolution. In 2012, the country elected Nicolae Timofti as its president, putting an end to the prolonged period without a head of state. Timofti's election marked a crucial turning point for Moldova, bringing stability back to its political landscape. Number 3. A wine city underground. Moldova, with its over 276,000 acres of vineyards, is indeed a wine lover's paradise. But what if I told you that hidden beneath the picturesque landscapes lies a sprawling underground city dedicated to the art of winemaking? Enter Craiova Underground City, a place that celebrates Moldovan winemaking like no other. Stretching over 70 kilometers, the Craiova Underground City is not your average wine cellar. It's a labyrinth of tunnels and streets named after various wine varieties. Picture this. As you stroll through the underground streets, you'll find wine stored everywhere, each bottle aging gracefully at the optimal temperature. Now, what makes this underground city truly unique is the experience it offers. Visitors not only get to explore the fascinating world of winemaking, but also enjoy a variety of activities. Imagine watching movies about wine at a cinema, surrounded by the very essence of winemaking. It's an immersive experience that goes beyond just tasting the final product. Private tours are available for those seeking a more personalized exploration. Picture yourself on a guided tour, learning about the meticulous process of winemaking from grape to bottle. And here's the cherry on top. After the educational journey, you can savor regional wines during a tasting session. It's a treat for the senses. But that's not all. Craiova Underground City offers more than just wine education. How about a fabulous dinner underground? Yes, you heard it right. Indulge in a culinary delight surrounded by the very wine that graces your table. It's an experience that combines history, culture, and of course, the love for wine. Number 4. Its wine is banned in Russia. To set the stage, let's talk about Moldova's relationship with Russia. Traditionally, Russia was the main consumer of Moldovan wine, accounting for a staggering 90% of its wine exports. However, in 2006, a diplomatic dispute triggered a ban on Moldovan and Georgian produce, dealing a severe blow to Moldova's economy. Now, you might wonder, why such a significant impact? Well, losing access to its largest export market hit Moldova hard. The wine industry, a vital part of its economy, took a hit. Despite this setback, Moldova has shown resilience and has managed to remain the 20th largest wine-producing nation on Earth. So, what led to this diplomatic dispute in the first place? Unfortunately, it's a complex tale involving politics and trade disagreements. The fallout not only affected Moldova, but also included a ban on Georgian products. The ripple effect was felt far beyond the borders of these two nations. Despite the challenges, Moldova has diversified its markets and continued its wine production. This adaptive approach has allowed the country to maintain its status as a significant player in the global wine scene. Number 5. The capital was destroyed in 1940. In June 1940, Moldova found itself under the occupation of the Red Army. The situation took a turn for the worse later that same year when a powerful earthquake struck Chisinau in October, measuring a staggering 7.3 on the Richter scale. Imagine this. A city already dealing with military occupation, suddenly rocked by a deadly earthquake. The tremors not only added to the chaos, but also left Chisinau in ruins, with significant damage to buildings and infrastructure. And if that wasn't enough, the following year brought another destructive blow. In 1941, the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, arrived and further devastated what remained of Chisinau. The city, already weakened by the earthquake, was now facing destruction from the air. The combined impact of these events reshaped the cityscape and the lives of its inhabitants. Chisinau, once a thriving capital, now bore the scars of war and natural disaster. Number 6. One of the poorest countries in Europe. What makes Moldova one of the poorest countries in Europe? Well, it all comes down to the numbers. Moldova's GDP per capita, which is the average income per person, hovers around $2,000. To put it into perspective, that's significantly lower than many other European countries. Now, this isn't just a statistical blip. Moldova has faced economic challenges, such as high unemployment rates and widespread poverty. It's important to note that these struggles didn't happen overnight. They have roots in historical and geopolitical factors that have shaped Moldova's economic landscape. Despite these challenges, the Moldovan government hasn't been sitting idle. They've been actively working to turn things around. Initiatives have been put in place to boost the economy and attract foreign investment. The goal is clear: to create a more stable and prosperous future for the people of Moldova. One key aspect of this effort is the focus on attracting foreign investment. By creating a more business-friendly environment, Moldova aims to bring in capital that can stimulate economic growth. This includes reforms in areas like taxation, infrastructure development, and regulatory frameworks. It's worth mentioning that Moldova is a land of untapped potential. From its picturesque landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, there's a lot more to this country than meets the eye. So, while economic challenges persist, Moldova is also a place with resilience and determination. Number 7. National Wine Day. National Wine Day is not just a one-day affair, but a two-day festival held on the 3rd and 4th of October. During these special days, winemakers across the country open their cellars and wineries to the public, creating a unique experience for both locals and visitors alike. It's a fantastic opportunity for wine enthusiasts to explore the rich heritage of Moldovan winemaking. What's even more intriguing is that during National Wine Day, you can indulge in wine tasting either for free or at a significantly lower cost compared to regular days. Imagine strolling through picturesque vineyards, sipping on exquisite Moldovan wines, and learning about the art and science behind winemaking, all while surrounded by the stunning landscapes of Moldova. It's an experience that brings people closer to the heart of this wine-loving nation. Number 8. It's home to an independent region. Transnistria has a unique story. It's often described as more Soviet than Moldovan. Despite the United Nations not officially recognizing it as a country, Transnistria operates with its own currency and has established border controls. Let's rewind to the late 1980s. Tensions began to rise when nationalist sentiments in the Moldovan Soviet Socialist Republic led to measures aimed at de-Russianizing the region, including banning the Russian language. This move triggered a response from Transnistria. To safeguard its cultural identity, Transnistria declared independence, setting off a violent military conflict. The struggle claimed the lives of over 1,000 people, and the aftermath was a ceasefire that left Transnistria in a de facto independent state. What's interesting is that, despite the international diplomatic dispute, Transnistria has its own currency and manages its borders independently. While the UN doesn't officially recognize its status, the region has maintained a distinctive identity. Number 9. The largest Jewish cemeteries. Moldova had a significant Jewish population before the Second World War. Tragically, during the Holocaust, over 60,000 people lost their lives. To honor and remember them, more than 20,000 Jews found their final resting place in the Chisinau Cemetery, making it the largest Jewish cemetery in Europe. Established in the 17th century, this cemetery holds not only the memories of the departed, but also reflects the deep-rooted history of Moldova. However, during the 20th century, a part of this sacred ground had to be closed to make way for road development. As we walk through the Chisinau Cemetery, the gravestones tell a silent tale of resilience, loss, and the passage of time. It's a poignant reminder of the impact of historical events on communities. The enormity of this cemetery serves as a somber tribute to the lives that were lost and the enduring history of Moldova. It's a place where the past is preserved, allowing us to reflect on the shared history of humanity. Number 10. Highest alcohol consumption. Moldova is estimated to have an annual alcohol consumption of around 16.8 liters per person. To put that into perspective, that's roughly equivalent to 4 gallons of milk or 67 cups of coffee. Now, some sources even suggest that Moldova sits in the second position globally for alcohol consumption, with only our friends in Belarus surpassing them in this regard. Now, tracking this data precisely can be a bit challenging, but one trend remains consistent. Eastern European countries often find themselves near the top of these rankings. Moldova, nestled in the heart of Eastern Europe, is no exception. The high alcohol consumption in Moldova can be attributed to various cultural and historical factors. It's not just about the quantity, it's also about the types of alcoholic beverages consumed and the social context in which they are enjoyed. Number 11. World's largest bottle-shaped building. Tucked away in the charming Târnăuca village of Moldova, the Strong Drinks Museum is not your typical museum. No ancient artifacts or historical relics here. Instead, it's a towering structure shaped like a bottle. Standing at an impressive 28 meters, this peculiar building has earned the title of the world's largest bottle-shaped tower. Now, You might be wondering, why a bottle-shaped building? Well, the Strong Drinks Museum is an homage to Moldova's rich tradition of winemaking and distilling. It's not just a giant spectacle, it offers visitors a unique perspective on the country's cultural heritage. Tourists flock to this unusual attraction for obvious reasons. It's not every day you come across a structure that stands out so distinctly on the Moldovan landscape. And for those who appreciate a good drink, this museum is a must-visit. Inside, you'll find a vast collection of alcoholic beverages, showcasing the diversity of Moldova's drinking culture. From fine wines to local spirits, the museum is a treasure trove for enthusiasts eager to explore the country's drinking traditions. Number 12. Country's national animal is already extinct. Now, before we dive into the details, let's understand what an auroch is. The auroch was a large, wild ox that once roamed across Europe, and Moldova chose it as their national animal due to its historical significance. However, it's essential to note that these majestic creatures ceased to exist nearly 4 centuries ago. The auroch was a formidable and impressive species, standing tall and proud. Moldova's choice to feature it on their flag pays homage to the region's rich history and the connection its people felt with this remarkable animal. Unfortunately, the auroch's extinction in 1627 means that no living specimen of this creature remains today. So, what does it mean for Moldova to have a national animal that's already extinct? Well, it serves as a symbol of heritage and a nod to the country's past. While the auroch may no longer roam the Moldovan landscapes, its representation on the flag keeps the spirit of this extraordinary creature alive in the hearts of the people. In conclusion, the fact that Moldova's national animal is already extinct is a poignant reminder of the passage of time and the changing face of our planet. It's a unique choice that sets Moldova apart, connecting its citizens with a piece of history that transcends the boundaries of time. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this intriguing facet of Moldova's identity. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, take care and stay curious.